E3 2006, the year in which Nintendo unleashed motion controls on the public, the year of Sony's $599 fumble, and the year Microsoft used a tattoo to announce Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto was riding high in the sixth console generation. Hard to believe it was almost an annual franchise at that point. Each of the three main console entries proved sales juggernauts, and Liberty City Stories ended up being the highest selling PSP game. Vice City Stories was also announced at the same E3 and released later that year. But with the Xbox 360 out and PlayStation 3 on the way, eyes were on the series moving to the next generation. With Peter Moore overseeing Xbox at the time, Microsoft were aiming to get in on the ground floor after passing on GTA 3 with the original Xbox. While the main game was released on both consoles the same day, the 29th of April 2008, after being pushed back from its initial October 2007 release date, Moore landed a timed exclusive deal on the two expansions thanks to the growing popularity of Xbox Live. With Criterion, the creator of Renderware bought out by EA, Rockstar decided on developing their own game engine. Plus, let's face it, while they improved graphics-wise with each entry, it probably would have looked dated in the eyes of your average consumer had it been used for the new HD age. As such, this led to the creation of the Rockstar Advanced Game Engine, or RAGE, courtesy of Rockstar San Diego. This was first used in a table tennis game, though we never actually saw table tennis in a GTA game. Watch now as GTA 6 has it. They also made use of Euphoria for physics simulation, which boasted more realistic movement effects when staggering, falling or taking damage, for example. With all this new tech, GTA 4 served as something of a reboot, known by most as the HD universe. Rockstar decided to return once more to where the series began, the murky hellhole that is Liberty City. Actually quite well timed too, as this was in the era of grey and brown being considered the realistic aesthetic, and Liberty City being a grimier New York meant it could cash in on that. The city itself was rebuilt from the ground up, ditching Portland, Staunton and Shoreside Vale for a closer looking New York City analogue. Starting off in Broker, comparable to Brooklyn, we also have Dukes, or Queens, Bohan, or the Bronx, Algonquin, the Manhattan equivalent, as well as Alderney, based on parts of New Jersey, and even a Liberty Island counterpart in the form of Happiness Island. While not quite as sprawling in size as San Andreas was, this Liberty City still manages to pack in a lot of things into the space it's given, the goal as ever being to give a city that feels lived in. As for my own experience, I actually didn't play this for the first time until 2023. I had an Xbox 360, two in fact. Guess what happened to the first? But I was largely playing Saints Row at the time. I considered picking up GTA 4 on more than a few occasions, but just never got round to it before then for one reason or another. Honestly, you'd be surprised how often I've only gotten into a game years after its release. There's also that I'm a JRPG fan and those games can be a time sink. Not that I was entirely out of the loop with Rockstar's output, mind you. I played through Red Dead Redemption and Undead Nightmare, and a couple of missions in GTA 5. Emphasis on a couple. Plus, let's face it, you're going to get at least some osmosis. I'm pretty sure everyone knows of the Niko Let's Go Bowling meme. Anyway, with the Saints Row reboot being what it is, I somehow got onto watching other reviews of GTA 4, and decided why not grab a copy for myself and see what I missed out on finally. That and I'd also gone through San Andreas the year before and figured it'd be cool to carry on with the series. I'm playing the Xbox 360 version, as thankfully I found a physical copy with both the base game and the episodes. This video is going to be covering the base game, and the episodes will get their own respective videos. I'm also going to be leaving the in-game subtitles on, at least for the base story, as while I usually keep them off, language and communication is a bit of an underlying thing here. The basics of gameplay for GTA 4 are simple enough. You run around, you drive around, you shoot stuff while driving around, and you take missions for money. More often than not, these missions tend to be more trouble than they're worth, usually for the character and sometimes for the player. Gunplay was improved upon here, providing more natural aiming as well as an actual cover system. There's also tweaks to the melee combat, with countering and different punches and kicks that are dependent on button presses. You also have the police to worry about, as doing crimes in their proximity causes you to gain a wanted level with increasing aggression the more you do. To clear it, you have pay and spray, provided you're not in a police car, or if you're on a mission it'll reset when you succeed in finishing it. On top of that, instead of bribes, the police operate within a certain radius represented by a flashing circle on the minimap. If you can escape that circle and avoid police cars for long enough, it'll also drop to 0. On the plus side, while being busted still costs you your inventory, being wasted doesn't. And you're more likely to be wasted as you get a grace period before the police crack down on you, so that's one bit of convenience. Driving is somewhat reworked in this game too. While earlier games used the face buttons for acceleration, similar to Mario Kart for example, GTA 4 makes use of the back shoulder buttons, which allow for more speed control due to being analog. Cars are a lot weightier here too, which has led to people criticising the physics in the past due to not being able to do crazy arcade style drifting. I kind of knew about it going in, and I honestly just adjusted to it. That said, I never did quite get on with riding bikes as Niko. On the plus side, cars don't explode if they flip over, and it actually takes a good amount of damage before they catch fire. Instead, causing damage results in parts of the cars crumpling and compressing, eventually leading to the engine struggling to even start. And it's quite detailed, and you can also find cars that are beaten up enough that they'll struggle even without any damage you'll likely be doing while driving. On top of that, while waypoints were first introduced in San Andreas, this one also plans a road route for you on your map, sat-nav style. This is also the first time you really get to use aircraft in Liberty City outside of glitching. Helicopters as opposed to planes, as chances are a plane would probably cross the city in seconds, but it's nice to be able to experience the city from the air. Boats also exist, and are thankfully nowhere near as dangerous to use as previous Liberty City based games, given that the Ocean of Poison is now at least clean enough to swim in. Side missions have gotten a rework from previous games. Most of the more familiar ones like Firefighter and Paramedic are gone, and Taxi Driver's somewhat stripped down, as you only get 10 missions and not much pay from it. Street racing's still there, and Vigilante now comes in 2 forms, both accessed from a police vehicle. You have the standard driving to find crimes and put them down, as well as Most Wanted, which gives you targets to take care of. Hidden packages also exist in the form of pigeons to shoot, but the only reward, an attack helicopter, is gotten after getting all 200 of them. There are also random characters to encounter as you progress, some just being oddballs on the street and others being follow-ups to main missions. While I don't plan to cover all of them, I'll try and cover the more interesting ones over the bulk of the recap. Radio makes its appearance once again in GTA 4, covering a variety of genres such as various rock, R&B, reggae and, due to the protagonist, an Eastern European station known as Vladivostok FM. Similar to the original releases of Vice City having Billie Jean being the first song you hear, you'll have Shriner by Glucosa on the radio more often than not as the first song you'll hear, though only in the physical release. For some reason they only negotiated a 10-year license to use a lot of the songs, which hit Vladivostok hard as apparently only one of its original lineup was retained. On top of that, we also have the usual ad lineup making fun of various products and places. As far as DJs go, this is where the best known names tend to come in. A lot of them are celebrities and musicians playing themselves, including the likes of Iggy Pop, Juliette Lewis and Karl Lagerfeld. Laszlo also returns with Integrity 2.0 a bit later in, one of the few things seemingly keeping continuity with the other games. Chatterbox didn't work out for him evidently, and he's now pestering people on the streets and calling it interviewing.
What is wrong with this place? God, you people are freaks.
Hey, asshole, I'm not a freak.
Right, whatever. You know, there may be a lot of freaks in Liberty City, but the biggest freak in town is back. Me. Excuse me, ma'am. My name's Laszlo. Am I the biggest freak you've ever met?
Are you kidding? You should meet my husband.
Talk radio stations beyond Laszlo's contributions also exist, satirising stuff like Phony Psychics, Judge Judy and Rush Limbaugh to name a few. We also get the main debut of Weasel News, which gives reports on the aftermath of certain big missions alongside other smaller scale happenings around the city. While earlier games have given updates on the aftermath of some missions, it was really this game that expanded upon it. Speaking of Weasel, if you need some visuals with your chat, you can also watch TV. Weasel's channel has stuff like the cartoon Republican Space Rangers and chat show The Men's Room, while CNT offers up a lifestyle show and some home shopping. There's also a documentary on the history of Liberty City if you're inclined. In terms of voice talent, while we have some familiar names as radio DJs, Rockstar decided to opt for lesser known actors for the main story this time around. Granted, if you're familiar with the stand-up scene you might recognise a couple of names, especially with a certain character in Ballad of Gay Tony. Of course, just because they're lesser known doesn't mean they don't give it their all, as GTA generally sets a standard for voice acting in games that few seem to match even years after 4's release. On that note, let's take a look at the story and the missions that make it up.
Hey, Entschuldigung. Der amerikanische Traum. Niko, my cousin! I couldn't believe it, you're here! Welcome to America! Bravo, Barazzaru!
You play as Niko Bellic, a Serbian immigrant who fought in the Yugoslav wars. He's come to Liberty City to seek out a new life with help from his cousin Roman, among other things. Roman talked a big game in his letters to Niko about his life in America, but given he shows up in a beat-up taxi, Niko quickly realises he might have been exaggerating.
This is the mansion? In your letters to my mother, in your letters to me, all I hear about is Mr. Big, Mr. Roman, living the American dream. Sports cars, condos, women, money, the beach, opportunity. I come here, and the only thing big about your life is the cockroaches.
That's right. I got the best cockroaches, I got the best pets.
Screw you, you idiot!
Sad part is, this place is still bigger than where I was living in 2008, though at least my excuse was being a poor student. Roman gets curious on why Niko suddenly came to America a decade after he did, but Niko gets cryptic about it.
Ooh, mystery man, strange and exotic sailor. What happened? Did your captain make you pregnant?
Screw you! No, it's nothing like that. War is where the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other. I was very young and very angry. Maybe that is no excuse. Roman? Roman! Are you sleeping, you fat fuck? Come on!
After some incredibly helpful directions,
It's easy. Out the door, turn left, then the first left at the diner, go down one block and turn right on Iroquois. Then walk all the way down and we're right there on the left on the corner of Cisco Street.
Roman runs back to his taxi business. You're locked on the eastern island for now, the reason being a terrorist scare as opposed to the bridge being blown up or storm warnings. You can certainly try to cross, and I did, but there's really not much to do on the other islands yet, and the 6-star wanted level means you won't survive long. Heading to Roman's taxi depot, we get introduced to his secretary and lady friend Mallory.
Not everything I tell you is bullshit.
I bet most of it was.
Hey.
I hope you're less full of shit than your cousin over here.
Thank you.
This is the woman that I'm going to marry.
As well as the loan shark he was talking to on the phone earlier, Vlad.
I'll get you the money.
I know. And Roman, tell this fucking yokel here, if he doesn't stop staring at me, I'll have his head chopped off and put a film of it on the internet!
Hate at first sight right there. Roman wants Niko to drive him from the depot to a gambling den, in hopes of gambling his earnings to clear out his debts. Passing you his old phone as a gift, Roman says to keep an eye out for some other loan sharks. Call Roman to warn him as soon as I show up and drive him out of their line of sight. Once safe, it's just a matter of getting him back to the depot. Barely back home and Roman needs help again. On the way, I also have the first random encounter that most will likely see with Brian, who mocks Niko but gives him $100 so it balances out. Anyway, the loan sharks, the ones that aren't Vlad, are at the depot, so Niko takes care of business.
Yes!
Shit, Niko. What did you do?
He was going to stab me!
More importantly, Mallory needs picking up from the station, and has a friend with her named Michelle.
Come on, you guys. You're both single. You're adults. Take a number, Niko.
Hey, I'd like to see you again, Niko. You look like that kind of guy I want to get to know.
You look like you just jumped off the boat, Niko. Handsome man like you should get some new threads.
I think he looks fine the way he is.
I don't think he even changed out of those things on the journey.
Well, we're back in Vice City where everyone mocks our dress sense now. Anyway, Roman points us to a clothing shop to get some extra clothes, which you can pick and choose in your safe house. No custom haircuts or tattoos though, despite Niko seeming like the type who'd have the latter. Niko arranges a date with Michelle, but Roman's in trouble. Again. Well, bros, or cousins I guess, before hoes, and it's those same loan sharks. This time you get to fight them in an introduction to the melee combat. One tries to flee, so chase him down to a warehouse. You can disable him to get a shiny knife, so turn it back on him, and he ends up going down the same way Uncle Ben's killer did in the Raimi movies.
I promised myself I wouldn't kill people here.
Niko also starts hinting at what happened to him, mentioning a man named Bulgarin. Anyway, after putting a pork bun in my hand, time for the date with Michelle. The first suggestion is...
The, fun fair.
Yeah, great.
But it's closed. With that in mind, we're off bowling. Funny that Roman being obsessed with it was the meme, but it's actually introduced with Michelle first. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. Good time either way, even if she's a bit over-inquisitive. Roman also invited Niko to a strip club, which serves as another activity.
Titties, 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 let me at them, cousin. Unleash me.
Vlad's still charming as ever,
What? You keep staring at me. I'll burst one of your eyeballs.
and Roman needs an extra driver for one of his regulars. The client needs to pick up some car parts, but the cops are waiting. Just a matter of getting out of range and then dropping him off at the pay and spray he works at. Following that, Roman has you meet with a more major character in the form of a yardie known as Little Jacob.
Yo, Niko, the one man Roman been talking about all this time. Cousin Niko, gonna help Roman take over the world and thing.
I guess so.
He's meeting with another gangster to smooth things over, but hands Niko a gun and tells him to wait nearby just in case. Big surprise, it's an ambush. Take out the attackers and get Jacob to his next destination.
Cancel everything. You can keep the peace.
Yeah, man.
I think you know if you use it better than I do. One love.
He also offers Niko some extra work. Anything to avoid Vlad. This also unlocks a taxi job, which you access by phone. Brian's also in need of a driver to buy a rock. Sad part is, this is one of the more successful drug deals in the series.
Wow, Niko.
Hey.
Glad to see the man, you know. Have to mind my Roman.
Roman? He's okay. He's still waiting for his big break, eh?
The man taking this way. This herb don't do too well for my honor, my eye coordination.
Our first mission for Jacob is to drive him to a deal, but he's worried it might go south. He tells Niko to wait in an alley before calling him and saying how they tried to run. They didn't prep any cars, so turn them into fender meat and pick Jacob back up. He decides to take out their gang, which serves as an intro to cover shooting. There's one guy you can shoot from the window and he drops a shotgun, which is always welcome, and after that just shoot the rest. Following that and a conversation about loyalty, drop him back at his bar. Time to go see Vlad, who's pretty much across the street from the safe house.
Yoko, Fetty Roman's cousin. What's your name again?
Big mouth prick.
Veracast. Sit down.
He wants Niko to run some protection collection. The bat he gives you doesn't overwrite the knife though.
Vlad should pay me to tell punks like you to go away. He get no money.
Another introduction to a gameplay mechanic, as you need to smash the guy's window with a brick. I don't really use this mechanic much after this, but it's there as a last resort I suppose. While the bar Vlad frequents is dealing with a health inspection, he gives you another protection payment mission. Our target this time manages to get away with the car, so it's a matter of chasing him down and ramming him, and trying not to go too fast. Eventually he'll be convinced to pay after enough damage. Vlad takes Niko to his car, mentioning a Mikhail on the way. His job this time is to jack a car, though he's not giving you any help, so it's a matter of taking the train. The car's owner doesn't like the idea of it being taken, but it's easy enough to clock him and his friend before grabbing it. Vlad complains about it being dirty, so you'll need to take it to a car wash first before dropping it off at the lockup. Nice detail on cars getting dirtier over time, if nothing else. Vlad messes with Niko before telling him about an Ivan he was talking with. Following a phone call with a certain woman...
Who was that?
Never you mind.
Was it Ivan?
Ooh, that's funny. You know, for a dumb yokel, you're a very funny guy.
Yes, and for an annoying dick, you're really an annoying dick.
He's now coercing Niko to play as his hitman. It's totally because he's robbing Roman, and also because he threatens Mikhail will rain upon the Bellics if he doesn't. This one's a chase down, which acts as a reverse rubber band AI of sorts in that the person you chase will always stay a certain distance until you're meant to catch them. Chasing Ivan to a construction site roof presents you with a choice to either kill him there or save him and tell him to leave Hove Beach. I decided to save him because screw Vlad.
I owe you my life, man. You're a good man. You're a good man. Thank you.
Roman's feeling down because he suspects Mallory's cheating on him with Vlad.
You knew?
I had suspicions.
You fucking knew?
What was I going to say?
You knew my woman was banging this warthog and you didn't do anything?
I didn't
say anything?
I didn't know.
You're an asshole, Niko Bellic! A disloyal user!
All right, so you want me to deal with it right now?
No. Sit down.
No! I'm not going to stand here and have you call me disloyal.
Pretty obvious when you consider he was always on the phone to someone. Guess she has a thing for stocky Eastern Europeans or something. Either way, no way is Roman going into an open relationship, much as he's trying to convince himself he's fine with it, and certainly not one involving Vlad. Vlad will set a couple of guys on you, but just introduce them to your friend the shotgun. Following that is another chase down despite Roman's paranoia. Eventually he'll crash, and you can equip a pistol to give a special execution. Roman panics as Niko tries to dispose of the body, so Niko finally tells him why he's in Liberty City.
When I was in the army, we were going on a mission to ambush a squad who had killed a lot of innocent people. They were our enemies, but we never did it. There were 15 of us, all boys from the village. But one of us betrayed the group. It was a setup. For money. 12 people died. 3 escaped. I know the traitor was not me. So for 10 years, I've been searching for the other 2. One of them lives here.
Why are you telling me this now? Do you always get sentimental after you kill people?
You kept asking.
Wonderful.
Following putting Vlad where he deserves, a phone chat with Roman points to him being in hiding. He's paranoid about Mikhail sending someone after them, with good cause. Niko wakes up in a basement to some interrogation techniques, but he proves pretty unflappable even at the risk of a hacksaw to the arm. The man himself, Mikhail Faustin, comes down and is more annoyed they're interrupting his wife's TV time.
So, Niko Bellic, you think it's okay to kill my employees?
If he is an asshole, yes.
I agree.
Moment that cemented my liking for Niko as a character right there. Mikhail gives Niko a job, while Roman does not help his case.
Shut up, Roman. Roman, shut up. Shut up, Roman. Roman, shut up.
Mikhail! Shut up! Stop shooting people, you maniac! My wife doesn't like when people shout! Whatever!
Anyway, he wants Niko to hijack a TV delivery van so he and his partner Dimitri can sell them off. First step is to grab a police car, which isn't too far away. Dimitri's helpful advice is to track down vans and pull them over until you get the right one. They apparently belong to a Kenny Petrovich, who only makes a major appearance in the multiplayer, and this being the 360 version means I couldn't access that if I wanted to. Beyond that, you just have to drop them off in a lockup. Thankfully, Roman survived his gut shot too.
That Dimitri guy gave me some painkillers. I'm kind of out of it. If you're near a shop, can you pick up some adult diapers for me? See you later, Niko.
Niko's called back and gets caught in a bit of a tiff with Mikhail and Dimitri. The actual issue is that an adult shop is making videos without giving Mikhail a cut.
Least they could have done is sent over some tapes.
Drive Dimitri over and then intimidate the shop owner by holding him up. That and shooting one of his guys in the leg. As a reward, Dimitri shows Niko a gun shop, as ammunition's been subject to crackdown thanks to gun control. Free submachine gun for your trouble, and then it's just a matter of driving Dimitri back to Mikhail's place. Jacob's got another job for Niko, introducing him to his boss, Real Badman.
Badman, what going down there, sir? Some boy just beat off the door. Some boy just call himself Niko, say he want to see a road boy. Niko? I'm a boy that Badman, man. Yo, free up the boy, man, yo. Are you a boy that? Yeah.
Badman's patois is very rapid fire, but Jacob's there to interpret for Niko. Long story short, some guys are selling drugs on his turf. Drive out to the dealer and tail him on foot, being careful not to get too close. Eventually you'll reach an apartment building where you need to head upstairs. From there, just shoot everyone in the room. This also lets you do hangouts with Jacob in your downtime. Jacob also calls Niko for some side hustles, namely some package delivery. You need to grab the vehicle outside Jacob's bar, then deliver it in one of 3 scenarios. First is time delivery, where the clock's pretty tight and the car's bad state doesn't help, but no other incidents occur. Second is dropping a package in a dumpster, which gets you surrounded by rival gangsters. Good source of shotgun ammo at least. Lastly is the delivery with no timer, but the police wait to ambush, so just get out of their range. You get some decent money for this point in the game, plus a car with Jamaican colours for the final delivery. Granted, it's a one-off spawn, so not too useful, but more do spawn about on the streets. One last check-in with Brian and he's turned his life around. He asks Niko to help him one more time to settle debts with his old dealers. They don't seem enthused by this, so teach them about respect and courtesy. Brian's cleaned up his act and Niko's cleaned up the streets. Just one example of the random encounter characters there. Another's Real Badman, who just wants some help with shooting up some rival gangsters. Any more that catch my interest I'll be sure to note down in between missions though. We're meeting Mikhail and Dimitri at their cabaret club next. Fitting really, as these two are pretty much a double act as it is. The police are onto their drug dealing and Mikhail suspects a rat, so he tells Niko to kill his main suspect, Lenny. Drive out to Bohan and you'll find Lenny at the train station. While it's not a huge chore to kill him, there may be some consequences for this, as Dimitri elaborates.
The boy you killed was the son of Kenny Petrovich. This is a very dangerous man. You will not take kindly to this.
How was I to know?
You weren't. This is Mikhail's craziness.
Returning to Mikhail, he's arguing with his wife Ilyana. Anna, their daughter, has been palling around with a member of the Lost Motorcycle Club.
Get away from Mr. Faustin's daughter.
Tell my father I can see whoever I like.
I'm gonna get the brothers and we're gonna kick your fucking ass!
Not the best first impression. Also, as I mentioned, I'm not a fan of riding bikes as Niko, but you need to keep up with your next victim till you find some of his brothers. Funny thing is, they don't stay on the bikes for long, making them even easier targets. Roman introduces Niko to his friend Brucey Kibberts.
Oh, lovemeat.net?
No! In a dark corner, doing dark deeds. We're both players, my friend.
What is he talking about?
He also wants Niko to get online, directing him to a cyber cafe named Twat, which is actually a holdover from GTA 3 if you believe it. The only thing you really need to do is reply to a confirmation email to set up your account, but the internet itself is pretty extensive to a point you could probably spend hours just browsing the in-game websites. Not imitating life. This also leads to a side job with Brucey, who emails you photos of cars he wants you to steal for him. Just don't try and shoot the owner through the windshield like I did. Mikhail's out, but Ilyana invites Niko in for some tea. She laments how Mikhail used to be nicer and hates her using their samovar, while Niko laments some of his past fighting in the war.
When the war came, I did bad things. And after the war, I thought nothing of doing bad things. I killed people, smuggled people, sold people.
And you don't worry about your soul?
After you walk into a village and you see 50 children all sitting neatly in a row against the church wall, each with their throats cut and their hands chopped off, you realize that the creature that could do this doesn't have a soul.
God is very complicated. You mustn't give up hope.
Nice little humanising moment that's interrupted by Mikhail proving Ilyana right about the samovar. Now, the actual mission is simple enough. Just pick up a truck that's rigged to blow. And in my case, had the radio on the reggae station. Probably also best to pay the toll this time rather than risk the wanted level. Roman doesn't help either.
Niko, it's Roman. We should go and get drunk together.
Roman, I'm nervous enough about driving a truck full of explosives around the city for Mikhail Faust. He's out of control. Anyway, I'm sorry, but if I get drunk with you and then drive this thing, I'll definitely blow myself up.
Driving a rigged garbage truck in Liberty City to blow up a building. Anyone else getting deja vu? I get a bit bombarded with Jacob and Michelle wanting to hang out more, Dimitri needing something and Brucey offering some missions. While dropping off one of his cars, I triggered Brucey's first mission, so let's take a look.
Sorry, Nicky, man. How's things?
Okay.
Sweet. I got you, man. I'm big, but I'm also fast. Wake up, boy!
Ooh, I'm sorry. Can you show me that again?
Enough, man! Enough! Oh!
The word overcompensating comes to mind, but at least it's funny to witness him trying to prove himself. Anyway, his job first requires you to grab a police car. This can be done by calling 911, but there's actually one parked near the safe house, so go for that. You need to look up the location of a man named Lyle Rivas on the computer. Get his location and head on over, which triggers another chase. I got lucky with my gunfire and he was already on fire by the time I did enough damage, so easy victory. Brucey is going a bit nuts due to being high on roids and tasks Niko with grabbing Lyle's car next. Seems easy enough until he gets surrounded by some of Lyle's associates. You can try and outrun them, but it's probably better to just shoot them then and there. Either way, just drop it off at the lockup like any other car he wants. Time to go a bit more sombre again with our meeting with Dimitri.
You're given a choice. Kill your best friend or die. What do you do?
And there is no way out?
Not now. Not after you killed Petrovic's son.
But you and Mikhail, you have so much history.
Sure.
Suppose this one was inevitable. Time to head to the cabaret. Dimitri's nice enough to stash some body armour nearby at least. Now I usually list drops for body armour, and while there are some about in GTA 4 I tend to just buy it from the weapons shop instead. Anyway, Mikhail saw this coming for a while, so he sets his men on you and runs to the roof. Chase him down, perform another pistol execution, and it's RIP to the double act. Tragic part is, I think Mikhail knew he was in a bad state judging by his body language in the past missions, but just couldn't stop himself. Plus, for all his abuse of drugs and family, he never really went against Niko, and even seemed to like him. Calling Dimitri a bit later triggers the next mission to discuss payment. Jacob also calls, sensing something's up. Despite seemingly being the more sane of the former double act, Dimitri's decided Niko has no more use.
You are Niko Bellic, correct?
What is this?
And you used to work the coast in the Mediterranean, smuggling people into Italy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But you messed up. And left a lot of bad debt. You left a good friend of mine out of pocket. Big time.
Hello, Niko.
Hello, Mr. Bulgarin.
Where is our money?
I don't know. I didn't rob you.
Thankfully, Jacob proves to be a real one and provides backup as you shoot out the gangsters he sets on you. Unfortunately, Dimitri and Bulgarin escape, and even the LC finest are quick on the scene after taking out the last few attackers. Get out of Dodge, get Jacob back to the bar and call Roman. Roman's hiding out in an alley, thankfully not a dumpster this time.
That guy I owed money to, Bulgarin.
Yes, guy in Europe, who lives by the Adriatic.
Yeah, he's here now.
Great.
I'm sorry. I've ruined your life.
No, don't be like that. We can find a way out of this.
Only thing for it is to flee, and thankfully Mallory can provide a place to lay low. Probably a good thing too, as the safe house is on fire when you get there. Same goes for the taxi business. Sad part is, this really was Roman's life of luxury that he bragged about in those letters.
Do you know how long it took me to get set up here? You don't, because it was easy for you. You had it all from day one. It took me months to get some cash together. Finally I bought a cab, and then another. Then I got the depot. I slept under my desk at that place for over a year. Then I got the apartment. The apartment you thought was so shitty. Well, it doesn't matter. And now it's gone, along with everything else.
I said I was sorry.
He also had a ring for Mallory that was lost in the fire. Still, Roman's nothing if not an optimist.
Here we are, the beginning of our new lives. Again.
On the plus side, at least this place is bigger, and Mallory's willing to help out.
No, I'm from up here, Niko. I know a bunch of people who might be able to help out. Why don't you come and meet me at the community center later on? I gotta go to work. Bye, Papi. Mwah, mwah.
So, I guess we start again.
Sure.
While Brucey has another job, let's go see what this community centre can offer first.
Yes, very cool, good.
Okay,
yeah,
go.
Beautiful, all right.
You ready for this?
Yes, I am. Turn this way, please. Turn this way.
5,
yeah.
6,
looking at
7,
me.
and 8.
Good, right over here.
Let me see you work. This way. Yeah. See, it's the streets, man. But people gotta understand the struggles, for real. You know what I'm saying? They gotta understand the struggles, yeah.
Oh, hey, Niko.
Our first port of call is Manny Escuela, a former gangbanger that turned his life around and wants to chronicle his journey of cleaning up the streets on film. In other words, he's a clout-chasing poser. He also thinks it's a really good idea to film a man who's supposed to be in hiding right now. Still, he's offering money at least. He wants Niko to drive to an abandoned sprunk factory that a gang's using as a drug lab. You need to get in via the roof and be careful of anyone that might be behind you. Following that, shoot up the lock and get out to see Manny trying to do some more street filming.
Could you walk out of there just one more time? We need to get the shot just right.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
I can put my foot to your face if you like.
Returning to Manny, he's doing a puff piece with an Officer McCreary. As for this current job, he needs Niko to clean up the streets of South Bohan. Some of your targets will try to flee in a car, but they're not bound by the rubber band, so blast them off the road.
Hey! Hit me!
What?
Hit me, come on!
Next up, Brucey needs some debt collection from Lyle's cousin Tom, and has an idea on how to get him.
I am a vulnerable guy who needs to be held by big, strong arms?
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
I knew we should have made him a giver, not a taker, Brucey.
Oh, shut up! Now listen, Nicky. I need you.
First you need to go to the cyber cafe and click on Love Meets link. Search for French Tom and let him know you're interested. You can also see Niko's profile if you like. You need to pass some time before the next part of the mission, so go hang out with the guys or do some side missions if you have any to do. Eventually you'll get a text message and just need to check your emails. From there, head to the diner near Roman's old place. Tom's more interested in himself and gold digging, though he does mention a nightclub owner called Gay Tony who's having money issues. Speaking of money, he tries to run when Niko brings it up, but we know how that plays out, even if it does cause a mini riot in the area. Love Meet can also be used for some girlfriends besides Michelle if you like. Brucey's channeling the inner Dom Toretto more obviously this time, though his car doesn't start. Thankfully, a guy has a car he can use, so I'll drive out to pick it up. Our first race, and would you believe I only got to first place at the final checkpoint. Finishing this one unlocks more street races on the phone a bit later. On the way back, Niko realises Brucey wanted the Rivas cousins killed in a bout of roid rage, so he decides not to do any further work. Pity really, as he was paying quite well. You do get him as a friend to hang out with at least, plus the car. Speaking of which, let's take a moment to actually talk about hanging out. Each person has a selection of stuff you can do, some more liked than others. After some conversation between you and your friend, you can eat out at a fine establishment, or get drunk at a bar and risk arrest as you drive back, or try and call for a taxi to avoid it.
Yellow car!
You can also take in a show, be it strip club, cabaret, or head into the comedy club once Algonquin's accessible for some stand-up by Ricky Gervais or Cat Williams. If you want something a bit more involved, you can do some bowling, as the meme always says. There's also a shooting pool available, as well as playing some darts using 301 scoring rules. Brucey also has helicopter riding and boating as more of the map's unlocked. Each friend provides a service once their friend score is high enough too, with Roman offering free taxi travel, Jacob providing discounted weapons, and Brucey fast travel by helicopter. The girlfriends on Love Meet and Crack list also give their own bonuses like health recovery or removing wanted level. Lastly, there's also a single player activity in the form of Cubed in a lot of places. It's a game of matching 4 of the same colour to build your score with more colours added over time. Mallory's got another contact for Niko, a drug dealer named Elizabeta Torres. Funny thing is, one of my dates with Michelle brought up how Mallory's relatively normal when you consider the people she grew up around. Anyway, laughing about how annoying Manny can be aside,
I think it'll be a bit more taxing than hanging with Manny on the streets.
Not so. For one, I won't have to listen to him talk.
True! Hey, Niko, this is Patrick. Packy McCreary.
All right. Hey.
Niko's tasked with guarding Patrick on a deal.
You don't trust these guys you're doing the deal with. How come you trust me?
You got a good look about you. And I'm lucky with my gut feelings.
There's a sniper rifle on a nearby roof, and you just have to wait for things to inevitably go south. What can I say? I enjoy a good sniping mission. Elizabeta's next job introduces Niko to a lost biker named Johnny, who doesn't seem to put 2 and 2 together about the death of his brothers under Mikhail's order. There's also Playboy X, who's coming along for this job as Elizabeta wants to ensure things go smoothly. Johnny's got some drugs he needs to sell. Of course, drug deals in GTA rarely go well.
Hey, what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Not much. Let's do this.
You got the heroin, right? Right?
Come on, let's do this quickly.
But you got the heroin, correct? You're carrying it, correct? I mean, it's a simple question.
What's wrong with you? You're being fucking weird.
Not weird, man. I just want to know if you're carrying the stuff, right?
You ain't right, friend.
No,
Come on, let's get out of here.
LCPD! Freeze, motherfucker! I said freeze!
They put this guy on a drug bust. You know, when I first played it, I actually thought he was either joking or high on the supply with how jumpy he was. Anyway, shoot your way through, and thankfully there's a few recovery pickups to help. Getting back to the ground and escaping the police's range, in my case by a hair's level of health, you drop Playboy back at his place and get him as a new boss. You also unlock Laszlo's station, as well as Algonquin, which looks much higher class than our previous spots and potentially a fun place for some nightlife. I get a few calls. Roman's insurance for the taxi depot fire cashed out, meaning his jobs are available again if you didn't finish them, as well as his taxi service if you have that unlocked. Also, Jacob and Michelle both give their views on Elizabeta, the latter seeming a bit too suspicious of her. Anyway, Manny wants Niko for another job. All you have to do is follow the damn train. Of course, Liberty City's roads can be a bit confusing and winding, but once you get to the station, it's not too tough to take out your targets. Elizabeta's arguing with Jacob about a job that went south. You need to drive out to an abandoned hospital, where some gangsters have holed up. Clear them out the best way you know how, then search the area for Elizabeta's drugs. As soon as you pick them up, the place is surrounded by members of the National Office of Security Enforcement, or NOOS for short. Probably figured it was better to include the OV in the acronym. 3-star wanted level to get away from, and after a good 5 minutes I somehow managed to get out of range thanks to the riverfront. Jacob arranges to meet Niko, but they're intercepted by a certain someone.
What are you doing here? This is no place for you, Michelle.
As it happens, it is. You see, Niko, I have been working for the government. I'm afraid it's my job to watch you. And now I have to ask you for the coke.
This is a joke. right?
Please, please don't make this harder for me than it already is.
This explains why she often asks about people Niko associates with on dates. Niko's not happy to learn about this, but handing the drugs over is enough to get him and Jacob off, no questions asked. Elizabeth is in a panic as she's losing allies fast. Manny also decides this is the best time to take his documentary skills to her.
I am not in the mood for this right now!
Well, he said he was going to bust a dealer.
You know, if I ever get asked to work camera for a filmmaker wanting to do documentaries about the streets of New York, I think I'm going to very politely decline. Anyway, after the gauntlet of the last mission, this one's a simple matter of driving their bodies to a back alley doctor. Hitting things too hard causes the back to open, showing the bodies inside like with GTA 3's Dead for Ellie. Best to keep them hidden though.
I can't believe I've got the genuine celebrity in the back of my car.
With all that said, this one's a much easier job.
I'll have these organs out on the street in no time. They're gonna help a lot of folks.
He'd been trying to help the streets his whole life.
Maybe he'll actually be doing it now.
The last you hear of Elizabeth is she's facing several centuries of prison time, so obviously no more missions from her. Well, let's see if Playboy X's work is fruitful.
Hey, what's up, money?
Hey.
Come on. Ladies, give me a few minutes. Business calls.
Niko opens up about his motives and Playboy's told that an old friend Dwayne has gotten out. The two seem a bit standoffish, but Niko seems to strike a spark of friendship.
Ain't folk quick to forget.
Some folk.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Where did you get out from?
Preschool.
Playboy's looking to get in the good graces of a real estate developer called Yusuf Amir. One of Yusuf's building sites is on lockdown thanks to a union strike, so Playboy wants to take care of it. He also didn't buy a globe with the money he's made from his enterprising. There's a car loaded with weapons, and first step is to head to a nearby roof. Take out the 3 snipers keeping watch first before heading to the site itself. There are 4 main targets among the numerous union workers shooting at you. There are a few health pickups about, but even so I had the worst luck for this mission for some reason. The last one tries to put some distance between him and Niko, but eventually he'll catch up. Playboy's got someone he needs silencing, but he sucks at describing his target. As a result, he gives Niko a fancy new phone that has a camera built in. Marvels of technology. Anyway, use the camera to photograph a group of gangsters and send it to Playboy. He'll then tell Niko which one he needs killing. They all start attacking, so I don't know why he bothered with all this. The target can escape to a car if you aren't fast enough, so chase him and gun it down. Mallory calls, worried about Roman, but Niko figures he's just off partying or something. After a bit more time, she calls again, confirming he was seen being carried to a warehouse. Dimitri also sends a photo to taunt Niko, though I forgot to do the response phone call. Time for a big daring rescue. This is totally a vehicle for a big daring rescue, and I defy you to tell me otherwise. We've got a few dozen Russian mafiosos between Niko and Roman, but let's face it, that's not enough to stop a man like Niko Bellic. Roman's main guard decides to use him as a shield, but he doesn't stand a chance either. Who even needs Deadeye at this point?
Thank you, cousin! You saved my life!
We should get out of here!
Taking Roman back, he decides to get out of Bohan and begs Niko to leave the whole Dimitri issue alone.
Disappear!
Okay, but I want Florian and Darko. I need to know what happened. Give me that.
Fine, but leave the Russians alone!
Playboy asks Niko to check on Dwayne, who's not in the best state after getting out of preschool. Everyone's ghosting him and his girlfriend is hooking up with Javon, the guy he suspects sold him out. Niko heads down to have a friendly chat with the pair of them, but Javon bolts pretty much straight away. You're given the option to kill Charisse, the girlfriend in question, but I decide to let her live. I actually missed that she was a choice back when I first played it, believe it or not. Either way, chase down Javon and take him out to get the money for Dwayne. Dwayne reveals that the strip club you can frequent in Bohan used to be his, so Niko offers to return ownership to him. First step is to identify the 3 current managers by walking around and listening in. If you're fast enough with melee, you can actually kill the one in the back without alerting anyone. The other 2 require a bit less subtlety though. Took a few tries, but I eventually get them all. Playboy isn't happy, however, as they were on his payroll. Speaking of Playboy, his potential deal with Yusuf Amir fell through. He also goes into a spiel about how he has big plans. This also leads into the issue of Dwayne.
So what you gonna do? Kill him?
Hey, I didn't say that. Man, you cold.
I was joking.
But what else is there?
Well, you can't kill him.
Nope. But you can.
But I don't want to.
Well, neither do I, man. But if he goes insane, we all dead anyway.
Niko decides to think about it. Dwayne calls a bit later and fears Playboy plans to kill him, asking Niko to act first. As for the choice, in my case, Playboy honestly comes off as the same level of poser as Manny, just with actual cash. Therefore I decided to go after him. He bolts as soon as Niko enters, leaving you to deal with a few of his men. Eventually though, I catch up. Dwayne thanks Niko by telling him the deed to Playboy's penthouse was actually in his name, and you get it as a safe house, along with Claude's outfit. You can also hang out with him as another friend, leading you to getting some backup gangsters when you want them. By this point you also probably have the other Algonquin safe house thanks to Roman, but I prefer to have as many as possible. Playboy gives you a cash payout but ghosts you after that, implying it's Niko's fault rather than his. I think if Ryder was in this one he'd be calling Playboy a bigger buster than CJ. The southernmost question mark on your map is revealed to be Officer McCreary, first name Francis. He's been blackmailed by someone, so sends Niko off to the exchange point. This one's a cool mission, as you have to call the blackmailer up and walk around to identify who he is. Once that's done, find a safe spot and take him out, grabbing the materials and escaping the wanted level radius. Inviting Niko to his precinct, Francis needs Niko to take down the lawyer that was name dropped by the blackmailer, Tom Goldberg. He advises Niko to apply for a job at his firm. Get online and send the application Francis provides. Make sure to grab some interview clothes too. Your interview gets put in the phone schedule, so just head down when it's time. He seemingly talks a good spiel, but given one of the partners in this firm is named Shyster, it's obvious he's talking BS. That and him being a parody of a certain infamous former lawyer who hated video games, GTA in particular. After grabbing his documents and shooting him, escape through the side entrance and drop the wanted level before giving Francis what he wants. Niko's getting sick of playing errand boy to Francis, but gets roped into arranging a drug dealer dying in the crossfire of some gang violence.
How much?
Oh, how much? Good money. 2 G's.
2? You mean 5?
Simple enough, just shoot your way through the area to the roof. Clarence, the dealer in question, is another choice-based killing, so I decide to stay consistent and let him live. Police raid the area, so once again you've got to escape the wanted level. One more mission with Francis reveals another dealer's got dirt on him. He provides Niko with a sniper rifle and a location. The target's not in a good vantage point, but his phone number's visible from the window. Just use that and take the shot when he moves to answer it. According to the wiki, other methods are available too, but that was the one I took. For once, no wanted level to worry about too. Our second question mark comes courtesy of Michelle, who works for a government front known as United Liberty Paper.
Sorry that I lied to you. And weirdly, in some ways, you're a nice guy. Better than the creeps I normally date. You've watched too many movies.
Whatever you say, Michelle. Or whatever your name is.
It's Karen. My name is Karen.
Predates the meme Karen by a good decade, bear in mind. Her unnamed boss, I'll just go with the agent, tells Niko to spy on a man named Oleg Minkov.
And hey, welcome to America.
Pascal Starodejeva.
Bushko.
Back to the old Hove Beach stomping grounds, and the house is empty save for a laptop. Checking his emails reveals an exchange with a friend who wants to meet him at a jeweller's. Despite this supposedly just being an info gathering, the agent then tells Niko to kill Minkov, so it's time for another chase down and shooting, with my victory assured thanks to his car exploding. Our next target comes in the form of a photo. You need to jack a police car when you get it, and once you clear the wanted level, compare it to the database. It'll send you to Broker, where he's guarded by a squad of guys. I worked my way from the top down and I was able to take them all out with no major issues. The agent warns against moving too openly, but not for his sake.
Who am I? There's 100 guys in this building alone who fit my description. Middle-aged men, paunchy, glasses. You bring them here? What's this? Empty office, leased to a man who died in the last days of Vietnam? Ooh. Call me up. My number never existed. No, I'm not too worried about that.
A man's funding terrorists, so he has a multi-level plan to take him down. First is finding and following a helicopter through the city. Eventually it'll touch down, so hijack it and fly off yourself. I love the persistence of that guy clinging. Touch down where the agent indicates, and wait for another phone call. Jacob's joining up for this mission, which sees you flying through the skies of Liberty City after the target. You'll need to wait until he's over the water and then get closer, allowing for Jacob to get the opportunity to fire a rocket his way. Dropping Jacob off completes things and gets you free reign of the helicopter. Not that I had much luck finding a place to store it. For a significant encounter, I ran into Hassan, the guy Niko was talking with in the intro. He needs help collecting some money, but of course the guy isn't paying up the cash as Hassan's not got a visa. Still, he's Niko's friend, so I'd chase the payer and collect the money he owes before dropping Hassan in an alley. Next port of call is our boy Patrick. His sister Kate seems impressed by the back and forth between him and Niko. He's in contact with a mafioso called Ray Boccino, who's gotten wind of a triad shipment. Heading to the docks, you need to climb to a warehouse roof. They're transporting in contraband meds, which may or may not be of the 1950s dietary supplement kind. Climb back down and shoot out everyone guarding it. Once they're taken care of, hijack the truck. Just be careful not to drive into anywhere inconvenient. Some more triads will tail you, but you can shoot them or switch out to grenades and blast them. Get the truck to the lockup and Boccino himself is impressed, offering Niko some work. Next up with Patrick, he's planning to rob a mafia family, namely the Ancelottis. On the way, he also confirms Francis is his brother, and as corrupt as the rest of them save Kate. Arriving at the mafia-owned waste management plant, shoot your way through to the main warehouse. There's more inside, but they don't stand much chance. Grab the money from the office and head out the back way. There's a boat you need to swim out to and then ride off to safety. You also get Kate for hangouts, though no hot coffee, which given her brothers is probably for the better. Our final mission for this segment requires Niko to get back into the interview clothes, as we're headed for the big one.
There he is! Niko Bellic!
Niko, these are my two brothers. Well, two of my brothers. The two that count. Derek and Gerald.
Following an introduction to the other McCrearys, Gerald and Derek, Niko's roped into a big bank heist. Big heists have been in the game since at least Vice City, and this one more than the others serves as a tribute to the heist in Heat. Could have been nice to have a couple of prep missions to this, but on the other hand at least we don't have to race a whiny getaway driver who doesn't even make it to the damn getaway. In theory the plan's simple. Invade the Bank of Liberty and rig up the safe with PE4, which is different from C4 as Derek insists. Something to do with the ratio of the chemicals from what I've read. Of course, best laid plans.
Hey, yo, I'm a gun club member. I'm gonna take these rookies downtown. Are you with me? Hey, what's your name, son?
Luis, but this ain't such a good idea, bro.
Yeah? They said catching that pass in my high school championship football game was a bad idea, because I broke my leg in 13 places, but I scored a touchdown and won the game. The world was built out of bad ideas, my friend.
Come on. The PE-4 has been molded and is set to explode in 60 seconds. Now listen, people, we're your friends. Me and me brother here.
Why are you telling them we're brothers, you idiot? That's gonna make it hard for them to find us, isn't it?
I'm trying to be honest with these people. We put them through a lot today.
Fuck these people, fuck your cause. That shit's over. Ireland's not the only thing that's green. Dollars are too.
Now you've said bloody Ireland. That's gonna narrow the search, ain't it?
Fuck you! Take the needle out your arm, then tell me what to do.
I'll let you tell me what to do when you stop shoving half of Bolivia up your nose every Saturday night.
Motherfucker! Fuck! We told you not to fuck with us! Shit! Michael! Saint fucking Michael!
Fucking shit!
Get the money! Me and my brother will watch the kids!
This guy Luis, I feel like if he was killed it'd cause some kind of time paradox. Probably nothing. Anyway, first step of course is grabbing the money. We've got the LCPD and noose surrounding us, so the best way out now is punching straight through. It's a battle through the alleys against Liberty City's finest, gunning down as many as possible. Thankfully, despite it being generally tougher to do so, cars can still explode. They send a helicopter, and while they're advised against shooting it, it does seem to back off when you do so. The subway is the next port of call, but still heavily occupied. Eventually you'll need to escape into the tunnels and run along the tracks. Finding a service exit, you emerge back topside and the wanted level drops. Thanks to the reduction in stars, grab another car and get out of range. Once safe, head to the McCreary household and earn a cool $250,000. This also unlocks Alderney, and you get some job offers from the other two McCreary brothers. You can also hang out with Patrick, who acts as your car bomb expert once his friendship level is high enough. For our next port of call though, let's go check in on Ray Bacino.
Why go through all this? Why stick your neck out? Why do all this work?
Because I need the money. And because I can't do anything else. And because I'm good at it.
Sure.
And because I'm trying to find someone.
Okay, maybe we can help. Let's see how we do.
Ray's first mission is simple enough. You just need to head to the Northern Projects and intimidate a guy whose photo Ray provides to get the location of a former associate named Teddy Benavides. Once you do so, head on up and shoot your way through the building. Teddy manages to trick Niko and escape to the roof. He hides, but I have the high ground and a sniper rifle, so... Ray denies any knowledge of the incident, and let's face it, this place looks rough enough that gang shootouts happen all the time. Ray's next interaction is interrupted by some strung-out woman who seems to have ties to the Lost. Either way, he works in the restaurant business and naturally needs some ice. This particular ice just so happens to be hot. He assigns Niko to picking up trash that's holding said ice. Welcome to the first mission containing the diamonds. Something of a through line across all three campaigns, and which we first saw in the intro. While picking up the bags, you get attacked by rival gangsters, but I shoot them quickly enough. After that, just get to the main plant and leave Luca and his two associates to separate the wheat from the chaff. I decided to take some time to talk with Derek next. He's currently strung out on a bench. Probably already spent his cut as well. Some guy called Bucky Sligo is targeting him and the other McCrearys because he thinks he sold them out. Thankfully there's a police car nearby to check out his location. Derek suggests not to kill him until he flees back to his hideout, as it'll allow Niko to take out his entire gang. You find Bucky at a burger shot, so chase him down to his hideout from there. Take out everyone inside and clear any wanted level you might have racked up. Doing this and Ray's first missions also unlocks the Alderney safe house. Derek's actually lucid for this next mission, which sees you escorting a Korean counterfeiter into Liberty City. A small squad of boats target him along the way, so it's time for some drive-by shooting. There's also a helicopter, but Derek stashed a rocket launcher on board. Simple enough journey beyond that. Brucey's also got some more car acquisition missions for Niko, as his friend Steve will text photos of what cars to pick up. Derek's lucidity doesn't last long, as he wants Niko to take out his other associate, Aiden O'Malley.
Please, Niko, boy. Just this last one. Please.
Sure, Derek.
Patrick calls and tells Niko he prepped a truck to help out. Aiden's transport goes through a tunnel, so I'll block it off with the truck, and with Patrick's help he can take out the escort convoy before jacking Aiden's transport. Gotta worry about the ever-present wanted level, which isn't pleasant as the transport's not exactly a speedy vehicle. Once it's cleared, dump it and grab the nearby four-seater. Aiden's oblivious the whole journey as you take him to the cliffs.
You've made me a happy man, boys. Now it's time to tell me who asked you to do this.
Derek McCreary. He's my brother.
Derek? But he ratted me out. He's the reason I ended up in that place to start with, the spineless...
So you thought you'd talk about him? He's my brother, and guys like you are killing him. Niko, get rid of dear old Aiden.
No special execution, but he probably won't be found. He does get found in a Weasel News report. I also took the time for a few encounters. Of note, we've got a wannabe rapper whose dissers you need to take out, the second time also requiring you to drive him to the hospital as he got caught in some crossfire. I also run into Charisse, who's having trouble with her new boyfriend. Simple enough task of beating him up, but you also have to assure Dwayne that nothing's going on between you and her. There's also Ileana, who's having trouble with her daughter's boyfriend, among other issues after her husband's death.
I can't do much for you. But I will get this slimeball to leave your daughter alone.
Niko, thank you. But please, no more killing.
I can respect that, so I beat him up too and leave him to do the right thing, which according to a phone call, he honours. Ivan, the first guy you can choose to spare, is high on life and needs help picking up some money he's owed. They aren't willing to pay, so I'm pretty sure you know what to do by now. Lastly is Jeff. He thinks his wife may be cheating on him, so he tasks Niko with getting photos of her with a friend at a cafe. After some time, he'll call up to arrange a meeting. Turns out he and his wife had an argument over the whole affair, and she very accidentally stabbed herself 50 times. Niko disposes of the body, but only because he's getting paid. Jeff later remarries, but history's seemingly about to repeat.
I need you to kill her.
What?
I'll pay.
You're deranged.
Then screw you. Screw you. Screw you.
Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down before I give you injury.
God damn you.
Niko refuses to help this time, and Jeff gets run down as he runs off in frustration. Drops a good amount of money at least. Jeff's final encounter is right by Ray's, so let's carry on with those diamonds. He never actually got the diamonds, and that leaves his main suspect as either Luca or Niko. Well, he seems to trust Niko more for now, so sends him to Luca. Luca denies any knowledge of the diamonds and races off. You chase him to Middle Park, where he crashes and hides out in a bathroom while Niko deals with his two goons. Probably not the best place to hide, but at least Niko's got the diamonds back for Ray. Ray wants Niko to oversee the sale of the diamonds to a guy called Isaac, but Niko's getting sick of giving and not getting any take.
I keep doing these favors for you, and you pay shit. I need this from you. A guarantee that you will find this man. I know he's in the city. So either you give me your word or go fuck yourself. I'm sick of this shit.
Fine! Fine, you got it. You want my word? You got my word.
Good.
Who is he?
Florian Kravitch.
Florian fucking Kravitch?
That's right!
Okay. Okay. You have my word.
Heading to the Libertonian, Niko meets Johnny again. The money's good, the diamonds are good, things should be fine.
Rest of you motherfuckers wanna die? Do something stupid, okay? Fuck you!
Just get the shit, man. Come on.
Probably should have dealt with that guy back in the bank. Anyway, the buyers decide Niko's to blame, so he's got to shoot his way through. Getting back to the entrance, more of Isaac's men arrive, so I'll swipe one of the cars and outrun them. Ray introduces Niko to another associate, Phil. More importantly, Johnny swiped the money in the confusion, so Niko's tasked with finding members of the Lost and getting it back. You need to chase them through the subway tunnels and shoot them down. I had some of the worst luck with this one. Just one more reason I avoid bikes for the most part in this game. I doubt Johnny and Niko will be on friendly terms if they meet again. Ray holds up his end of the bargain at least, saying he knows a guy who can point Niko to Florian. Niko decides to get Roman for help, who worries that Niko's getting angrier than usual over this. Finding Ray's informant, he'll direct Niko through Algonquin streets with verbal directions until he reaches Florian's.
Oh, go away! Florian. Yesitoti.
Niko? What the hell are you doing here?
What happened to you?
Oh, I started working out. You know, toned up the,
Florian? You used to work in the abattoir?
Oh, don't remind me. It's Bernie now. After I came here, I wanted a complete change, so I became Bernie Crane.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm a lifestyle coach, and I teach an aerobics class, and I'm in love. He's married. It's so doomed. And he's in politics. He's the deputy mayor.
Bryce Dawkins? But he's so into family values.
Oh, that's just politics.
Where is Darko?
Dead, I hope. I'm not sure.
Well, that was a bit of a bust. Worse still, the agent mocks Niko for thinking he was the traitor. One last mission with Ray, and he's been marked by Isaac. Following me getting smacked by a car while trying to get into mine, this mission has you head to a hotel. Isaac's associates are waiting upstairs, so clear them out. Also, for some reason, this guy gave me a choice to spare him. Left over from a cut feature, maybe? Anyway, head further up and take out the last of them, then use the window lift to get back to the ground. For some reason, the wanted level doesn't clear on this mission's completion. According to Ray, Johnny's also vanished. Next up, we're meeting with the final McCreary, Gerald.
Come in, come in. Beer? No, thank you.
Oh, I agree. Let's have whiskey instead.
He's got a plan to drive a wedge between the Ancelotti family and their Albanian allies. There's a bomb in an alley you need to pick up first. After that, find the Ancelotti's main car and plant it, before following them at a safe distance to their meeting point. Jerry's set up a phone number for the bomb, so I'll watch the whole place go up in a blaze of glory. Make sure to take out any survivors too. After Niko chats a bit with Kate, Jerry mentions that he's being watched, and he needs him to help with some work for the Pegorinos, the same family Ray works for. While neither are in real estate, they're looking to further stoke a good old-fashioned gang war, and need Niko to disguise as an Albanian gangster to kill an Ancelotti capo by the name of Frankie Garone. Track Frankie to Algonquin and chase him down. Eventually you'll get close enough to gun him and run him. Niko gets a call from Florian.
That's not my name!
Sorry, Bernie, wanting to hang out, but it's a bit more complex than that.
What's the problem?
Someone is threatening to kill me. Every time I go out jogging and doing aerobics or playing Ultimate Disc, some guy comes up and threatens me. He's loco.
Why is he threatening you?
Because... I think just because I'm fabulous.
What?
Niko's plan is to draw out the guy harassing Bernie while he's jogging in the park. Sure enough, he attacks, so I'll attack him right back. Funny thing actually, I didn't know Bernie could join you here, as I killed him too fast the first time I played. Either way, he goes down like the rest, and you just need to drop Bernie off at Perseus. Niko walks in on Bernie talking with his secret conservative politician lover. Someone's blackmailing them and threatening to go to the press. Driving out to meet them reveals their boss is that backstabber Dimitri. Thankfully I was in a high-speed car, so I kept up with them until they crashed. Obvious what to do once they're out of the car at least. Bernie next sends a text to come to the pier, But this one isn't as complex, much to Niko's annoyance.
What are we doing here?
We're going to have fun!
Fun?
Yes! It's a 4-letter word, I know, but we can still try.
Look, more people want me dead than alive. I'm working for the mafia. The police and the government agency are both on my case. I kill and steal to scrape together a living so that my cousin can fritter it away online and pay off debts. And all the while, people are trying to kill us. What is fun?
Honey, you are stressed.
It's a nice gesture from one of the few people he knows from the old country, at least. Too bad Dimitri sends another group of gangsters after the two of them. Rather than road, this time it's a boat chase. They'll eventually drop anchor near the graveyard, so just track them down and shoot. Bernie then gifts you a special car as a reward for helping him so much. Ray takes Niko to Phil. He wants to intercept a triad truck carrying a drug shipment, so head up to find them waiting. You can gun down a bunch of them, but one will manage to get to the truck first. Thankfully it doesn't move too quickly, so you just need to grab the back Robert Patrick style. As you try to climb to the front, the driver will try and throw you off. Eventually you'll make it to the front and can jack the truck for yourself and deliver it to Phil's nephew. Francis meets with Niko, panicking that Derek's in Liberty City due to his own reputation.
You got the big problem then.
Me? We, my friend. We. You stop it.
Stop?
Stop.
Kill your brother.
He's already dead.
Derek also calls up, panicking that Francis wants to kill him. Head out to the meeting spot and make your choice. Honestly, it kind of feels like you're dragged into this one a bit arbitrarily. Francis gives you money and a means of lowering your wanted level, while Derek gives you more friend points with Patrick. Up to you which one to pick, as neither really appears again in any prominence. I decided to spare Derek because you did a big bank heist with him, and a band like that is just plain unbreakable. That, and do you really want to be under the thumb of another corrupt cop named Frank? Requesting that Niko come to the funeral, and none the wiser that he's responsible. You'll need your best clothes for this, so go and get changed and head to the church to pay your respects. The Albanian gang decides this is the best time to attack, so attack them right back. Eventually everyone will head to the transport convoy, with Niko and Patrick stuck with the hearse. More Albanians attack, and you have to be careful not to have the coffin fall out on the way to the graveyard. I guess even if he wasn't well liked, he deserves to be respectfully interred. One person missing from the funeral was Jerry, as he'd already been arrested prior.
What you up for?
A lot of things. Racketeer and armed robbery. A bunch of shit I never did, because I was always a well-behaved family man who occasionally liked to drink, but nothing more.
He can't speak openly about his newest plan, so he has his brother tell Niko that they're targeting the Ancelotti's mafia princess, Gracie. She's selling her overly gaudy car, so get online and place a bid. Following that, call her up during daytime hours and arrange for a test drive. After a bit of small talk, it's time to initiate the kidnapping. She constantly grabs the steering wheel to throw off your driving, so you have to keep moving. Eventually, Niko decides to deal with her a bit more pragmatically.
You're fucking with the wrong girl, asshole. I am Gracie Ancelotti, and I...
Shut up! Peace at last.
Clearly, she very accidentally hit her head on the dashboard as she was trying to escape from the car. At least she's quiet for the rest of the trip. Don Ancelotti wants proof that the McCrearys have Gracie, so it's up to Niko to take photo as that proof. Smile for the camera. Jerry then speaks code that means Gracie needs moving to another location. A couple of the Ancelottis are wise to the location and give chase, but they're easy enough to evade. Tempting as it is to just crash the car with her in it, deliver her to Patrick as intact as possible. In a bit of a tedious move, you have to drive all the way back to Alderney Correctional to trigger the next part. You then have to drive all the way back to Patrick and Gracie as there's going to be a hostage exchange. Turns out those diamonds were taken by Luis in the confusion, so he and gay Tony, who's in league with the Ancelottis, are set to negotiate them for Gracie's freedom.
Hand over Gracie. I'm here for you, sweetie.
Hand over the fucking stuff!
All right, calm down. Both of you.
Oye, we put the ice in the middle, we walk back. Then, you send over the girl. We leave, and you pick up the stuff. Entiende?
Sure. Show us the goods.
Come back to me, honey.
Let her go.
Problem is, Bulgarin barges in, claiming ownership of the diamonds himself. One of his men managed to grab the diamonds, so you need to shoot your way through to get to him. Eventually the numbers get thinned out enough, but...
I'm screwed either way. If I don't give you the diamonds, you kill me here and you take them. I do give you the diamonds, Mr. Bulgarin kills me later. I don't nobody having them. Screw all of you.
Oh, so much for the diamonds. A man calling himself the Fixer has some jobs for Niko that are initiated via phone booth. Nice to see that managed to endure into the HD era. You're given a weapon and some free body armour, and just have to drive out to the target and take them out. As far as the remaining significant random encounters, I run into Clarence, who decided not to turn over a new leaf. Alright, fine, Francis was right about this guy. I also run into Eddie Lowe, who wants help dropping off a bag and manages to be one of the few people capable of unnerving Niko.
You're funny. You're a real joker. I knew a joker once. Lovely guy. Came to a rather unfortunate end, though. But I suppose we all do. In the end.
Okay.
His second encounter sees him freak out when Niko calls him not cool. Of course, it's knife versus shotgun. There's actually quite a bit of Eddie alluded to through the game, in news reports and on the internet as a serial killer's reported on the loose as early as the broker segments of the story. I also encounter Gracie, who just runs off and sets Ancelotti gangsters on you. Back into the suit to make a good first impression for Ray and Phil's boss, Jimmy Pecorino.
I know enough about you, your cousin, your friends. I know a lot of people around you end up in jail.
Some, maybe.
But that's the same all over town. This is a dying game.
Pecorino's got ambitions on getting in with Liberty's 5 families, and he's set up a deal with the Pavanos as tribute. He also doesn't think much of Ray, especially because of the diamond incident, and gets annoyed at his own henchmen for being suck-ups. Niko, meanwhile, is tasked with acting as sniper for when this deal inevitably goes balls up. After gunning the Pavanos down, head down to rescue Pecorino as more men arrive. You also need to chase down a group of them that decide to make off with Pecorino's tribute, so track them and grab it before getting Pecorino back to his place.
So, listen, we got a bit of a problem with the Pavanos.
Yes, I noticed that you're meeting with them.
As revenge for the Pavanos backstabbing him at the meet, Pecorino gives Niko the job of muscling in on their bookie payment pickup. Find them in a diner and chase them to their meeting point. I decided to introduce them to a few grenades as part of my own tribute before gunning down any that were left. Phil's our next stop for Niko's jobs.
So you're a friend of Ray's?
A friend? No, I do some work for him.
No, I mean a friend.
I don't understand. Whatever you say. He's a slime ball, but he pays.
The Russians have gotten hold of some nose candy, so Phil directs Niko to a truck they're planning to use to intercept.
Sounds straightforward. We take the coke so that the Russians and the Enceladis have a falling out, and we make some money in the process by selling the stuff. Easy.
Shit, you sound like you're saying all this just so it's clear on the wiretap. For the record, I don't know what this man is talking about. We're rehearsing a scene for an acting class.
He's got a point. Both men know this is likely to go south, but orders are orders. It's been transported via the docks, using the old method of smuggling it in speedboats. And big surprise, the plan switches to shooting every gangster in sight. Get on board one of the boats and follow Phil to the drop-off point. A couple of stragglers follow, but they're easy enough to get rid of. Phil next needs Niko to take care of an Ancelotti enforcer who grew wise to the previous plan. The abandoned factory where he's holed up has 2 ways in, so I go for the back way as it's slightly more stealthy. This one isn't too tough either way. Just find up to the roof and shoot out the helicopter before it has a chance to fly off. Niko walks in on Phil and Pegorino's wife talking, and following a misunderstanding of Niko asking for a favour, Phil directs Niko back to the house where they sold the Triads drugs, as he figures the heat's died down on them enough. Maybe for the Triads, but the feds are wise to them. It's a chase through Alderney to try and lose the heat, and eventually Phil suggests dropping the cars. Still have some cops to worry about, so take them out before following Phil to a van he's prepared. Once you're out of range, just get Phil and his nephew down to their safe house. Pegorino's not in the best mood, as he's learned something unpleasant about his loudmouth bodyguard Anthony.
My personal bodyguard wearing a wire! I raised that kid like he was my own! I beat him like he was my own son!
The hospital that Anthony's being held isn't too far, thankfully. Now you could in theory just put a bullet in him, but there are some scrubs to be found, so you can channel your inner Agent 47. Just find his room after that, dismiss everyone and pull the plug, fighting your way out of the hospital after that. Returning to Pegorino, he's holding a council with Ray and Phil. He's fast losing allies and the police are breathing down his neck. He figures that someone's leaking info, and when his two top men leave, he considers offing one of them using Niko. While this seems to be framed as another choice-based mission, he always decides on Ray, figuring he's the bigger rat. Not really much evidence of him turning, honestly, but either way, head out to Algonquin while he's out driving. He'll stop at a petrol station, which, despite my bad luck the first couple of times, is the best place to take him and his convoy out, courtesy of a rocket launcher. The agent has given Niko a contact with the head of one of the 5 families, namely John Gravelli of the Gambetti family.
Our mutual friend told me everything. Thank you. It made me
My pleasure.
He's none too happy about the Russian mobsters muscling in, and given Niko's lack of love for Dimitri, they have a mutual goal. That and the promise of finally finding Darko. For the record, the 5 families in Liberty City are the Gambettis, Ancelottis and Pavanos as the ones we've seen the most visibly. There's also the Messinas, who are the ones on Yusuf Amir's building site, and the Lupicellas, who only really get a passing mention. As for Niko's job, he's tasked with protecting a politician named Bobby Jefferson, who's set to give a speech on rising crime by Russian mobsters. No prizes for getting why Dimitri's targeting him. You get stopped by a roadblock and some heavily armed mobsters. Once they've been cleared out, just grab a car that's still intact and take out any mobsters that follow before getting Jefferson to the Civic Centre.
I was just speaking to our mutual friend about you. He said how efficient you were. I like that. Then he mentioned something about a Darko Brevich.
What? He did?
Yeah, he's located the guy.
Well, some good news at least. As for this current job, the target's a Korean counterfeiter who's been printing a bit too much money. If that sounds familiar, it's because it's the same guy that he helped Derek smuggle into the country. Fight through his restaurant to the manager's office and get info on his location. After that, chase him outside, and if you're quick enough, like I was, you can actually get him before the obligatory chase starts. The agent's talking with Gravelli, as the latter's not long for the world. Our next job is destroying some vans being used to distribute drugs. You'll need to ram part of the fence to get in, and I decided to take out the mobsters first. I figured that there'd be less risk of one taking a van around the city that way. After emptying them out, just throw a few grenades at the vans and mission complete. As a reward, Gravelli and the agent finally bring Darko into Liberty City. Side note, but Gravelli is also a rare case of a mobster that dies peacefully in his hospital bed after the ending. Roman offers to come along for this, just as he did for Florian, or Bernie. As before, Roman wants to try and pull Niko from his hatred.
This is all that is left of me. What am I good at, Roman? What is my trade? A deal in debt? Because that is all that is open to me.
I will tell you what you are good at, Niko. You are a good cousin and a good friend. You still have integrity. No matter what you say, there is humanity in you. You still have the power to be good. It's important that you believe that.
Heading to the airport, Niko finally confronts the man who destroyed him all those years ago.
You remember me?
I don't know you.
Yes, you do. I'm the one who survived. Reci mi zašto.
Zašto?
Zato što smo bili prijatelji. Svi smo odrasli zajedno. Mitar, Dragan, Goran, Mio. Mogu da nastavim. Svio, a?
We were friends, but I had other friends. Friends that Goran and his guys killed. My fucking neighbors! Because of what? Because of shit! Lies! Fucking lies!
So that makes it okay to stab your friends in the back?
When everything you believe is shown to be shit, you make strange choices.
Fuck you! Strange choices? How much?
1,000.
You kill my friends for $1,000.
How much do you charge to kill someone?
You ruined me, you fuck!
I needed the money. I had problems.
You're a fucking junkie!
Kill me then! You fucking hypocrite. Trust me. You'll be doing me a favor. Ah!
Niko, come on. Let's go. Let him suffer. He knows what he did. He doesn't look like he enjoys life too much. Okay, come on.
Like with Bernie, not what Niko was expecting, but in a much darker manner. He's also not wrong that Niko's killed for money just like he did, but he's just in a better position for now. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer here, but I ultimately went with sparing him. He's a worthless junkie who's not likely to live long in Liberty City either way. That said, if you do kill him using the pistol execution, Niko uses 12 shots for the 12 men who died that day. As I mentioned back at the start of this video, there's some good acting from this game, and this scene in particular. Not just from Niko's frustration, but also Roman's contribution. Roman's always quite boisterous, so seeing him as quiet and subdued as he is while he tries to help Niko in the heat of this moment is quite standout. Anyway, after dropping Roman at Brucey's, Niko calls Bernie, who gives feedback on your decision. One thing that's been brewing for the last few missions is Roman's upcoming wedding to Mallory. Before that though, Pegorino has one more job for Niko, who actually drinks for the first time in a mission brief. Pegorino's found a buyer for the drugs Niko and Phil stole from the Triads, and the man overseeing it all is a familiar name.
Dimitri Raskalov.
No, we've got the history.
I know, but this is real. I need you.
Niko calls Roman and Kate for feedback on what to do, with the former letting slip where Dimitri is located. This also leads to the final decision of the game, doing the deal or getting revenge on Dimitri. Firstly, I'll go with doing the deal, as it's not the decision I'd usually pick, and wasn't what I picked in my first playthrough, but I want to show off both decisions. Phil's waiting nearby, but he has reservations himself as he can sense Dimitri's not trustworthy. Heading to the docks for the payment, Dimitri calls and says he's killed the buyer's reps so he can hang on to the drugs to sell them off to someone else. In other words, he's betrayed Niko again. Phil decides it's better to at least attempt to grab their share, so he suggests infiltrating from the roof. Fight your way through to an office where the money's being held. One of the buyers runs with the money, so grab a car and follow, shooting his getaway truck until he stops from enough damage. Finish him off and grab the money for another big payment of 250 grand. Kate's not impressed and cuts ties, meaning you can't do any hangouts with her anymore. Roman's wedding is the next day, and things seem well until a guy resembling Agent 47, possibly a 48, reveals himself as an agent of Dimitri. While Niko avoids his shots, Roman doesn't.
To bumbleclad. Yo, Niko. Calm down, man. Yo. Easy.
He told me to leave it. I left it.
Niko, get up.
Oh,
Gotta
man.
get you out of here, police them soon come. Don't worry, man, me find Dimitri, me call you. Leave.
Okay.
Jacob once more proves how loyal a friend he can be by tracking down Dimitri and Pegorino, calling Niko as he's found a couple of men to tail. Eventually he'll get to an abandoned building filled with a bunch of gangsters. Niko goes it alone, telling Jacob to secure an escape route. Shoot your way through every gangster to the building and clear out the ones inside. Big shock, Dimitri's still betraying people, shooting Pegorino. He escapes to a helicopter, dropping Niko near a convenient speedboat. Eventually, Jacob will arrive in his own helicopter, prompting Niko to jump aboard. Chase Dimitri down, making use of the onboard guns, and eventually you'll both crash on Happiness Island. Finally cornered, Dimitri goes down.
Welcome to America. Speak English. You're a strange man. You killed your best friend. You betrayed everyone who ever came in contact with you. You killed my cousin. I guess the survival of the fittest thing really meant a lot.
Come on, Niko, man, get out of here, let's go. Come on. Go on. Come on, let's go.
Roman never hurt anyone.
I know. Let's go, man. It's over.
Well, despite Dimitri being down and out, it doesn't really feel like much of a victory, even with Jacob's claim that Niko won. There are some post-game phone calls after the credits too. Mallory reveals she's pregnant, Bruce is in shock at Roman being killed, and Kate offers Niko a shoulder, though, as I said, you can't do hangouts with her. Of course, like I said earlier, we've got two choices, so let's go take revenge on Dimitri. He's all the way back in Broker, so grab something with a bit of speed to get there quickly. Turns out he's holed up on the Platypus, the same ship that brought Niko to Liberty City in the first place. I'll talk a bit about why I'd always generally pick this ending in replays even though I spared Darko, and there is a bit more to it than just Roman not dying. Now there is merit to the deal ending's consequences. For example, I do like the book ending of the whole Welcome to America speech, as well as learning from Jacob that for all the two cousins may have argued through the game, Roman was on the verge of heading to Europe and bringing Niko to Liberty himself. It's also a bit of a culmination on how Roman's often on the receiving end of Niko's actions, such as being shot, beaten and kidnapped. Given all of that, it's somewhat fitting that eventually the result ends up being fatal. To argue the revenge side, one conversation Niko has with Phil is about how he can't follow every order and needs to make a decision for himself sometimes, which I figure is a bit of foreshadowing on this mission's decision. Part of the reason Niko's done so many shady jobs is to build connections throughout the city, in hopes of finding someone who can point him to his targets. Now he's found both of them, in my mind he doesn't have much reason to follow orders, money or not, and he doesn't have any real loyalty to Pegorino anyway. There's also that Niko's constantly promised to put a bullet in Dimitri every time he's called to taunt him. With the opportunity practically given to him, he can finally act on it and take out that thorn in his side. As I mentioned, I spared Darko partly because he wasn't likely to survive either way. At this point he's a wretch, nothing more than a walking dead man, and there's no satisfaction in revenge against someone like that. Even his motive and payment were rather paltry, though when you're lucky to get $10 for a job, $1,000 probably does seem like a hefty payout. Dimitri, on the other hand, is on top, running the biggest Russian mafia operation in the city. Certainly much more catharsis in bringing the fall to his pride personally. Darko also only betrayed Niko once and disappeared, while Dimitri's betrayed everyone he's worked with numerous times, including his supposed best friend. He's tormented everyone close to Niko, burning Roman's home and business, having him kidnapped, as well as a whole blackmailing of Bernie, which may have been partly motivated as an attack to Niko by proxy, given he's one of the few living people with ties to Niko back in Europe. Lastly, to bring it back to gameplay, I just find this mission more fun. Ship shootouts are a bit of a tradition in GTA, and this one's a good one to go through whether you do like I'm doing here or taking out the majority via sniper rifle. Plus this also serves as a good bookend in itself, having the climax on board the same ship that Niko's story began. The aim here is to head to the ship's bridge in order to open the way to the cargo hold. Once that's done, drop down and shoot your way through to the scumbag himself. He'll set one last wave of guys on you, but he'll go down like the rest.
You screwed me over. Now you're paying for it. Shame that'll be the second last thing that goes into your head. Goodbye.
You're the one who's going to learn a lesson. People aren't going to be happy if you kill me. Blять, ёбаный!
I've never been popular. I don't mean to start now.
His begging also just adds to the catharsis of taking this route, and he gets a pistol execution to allow Niko to fulfill his promise. Say goodnight, Mr. Raskalov. With that, it's finally over. No money, and Phil doesn't hold it against Niko, though he warns Pegorino probably will. Kate's actually impressed enough to come to the wedding with Niko this time. Pick her up and head on over to the church. The wedding goes ahead once more with everything seeming well, especially with Dimitri not alive to send a hitman. Unfortunately, as Phil said, Pegorino didn't take things well and fires at the crowd. Roman survives this time, but Kate's now the one to end up on the receiving end of gunfire.
Told me to leave it. I thought I had. I thought it was over.
It's never over, Aya.
Niko, you can't blame yourself.
Of course I can. She's dead.
Easy, easy, you better, man. Easy. Calm down, man. Calm down.
Niko, you have to get out of here.
Yes, go on, man. Go on, man. We have to leave, man. Just leave.
Get out of here.
Don't
Go.
worry, we take care of this, man.
Okay,
Leave.
okay.
As with the other finale, Jacob tells Niko of the men working for Pegorino that he plans to use to track the man down. This time Roman's along for the ride, scared but insistent on helping. You track the men to the same abandoned building and shoot out everyone there. Pegorino taunts Niko briefly before escaping using the boat, so this time you're chasing him along the coast with a bike. True final boss right there. Jacob and Roman arrive at the helicopter, so you have to make a jump to get to them. Thankfully there's an actual checkpoint that starts at the shootout rather than the chase on this mission, saving you some time if you miss the jump. Another chase by air that forces a landing on Happiness Island, and you finally corner Pegorino. Niko decides to rub some salt in the wound before he finally puts him down.
You want to know something funny?
Not really.
The commission. The old families. I know some of those guys. And they thought you were a fat fucking joke.
Whatever.
A joke.
Cousin!
Yeah.
You did it.
I suspect if the wedding hadn't been the next day, Niko probably would have tied up that loose end sooner. Still, from this point, at least there's that hope that he can move forward and not get anyone else caught up in anything. Funny thing is, you actually get 250 grand from finishing this mission too. As before, you get a couple of post-game phone calls. One from Roman, talking about Mallory's pregnancy, and another from Patrick mourning Kate. Minor spoiler for GTA 5, I suppose, but chances are with his family either dead, a corrupt cop, or in prison, probably the reason he moves to Los Santos in the intervening 5 years. With that, I've reached the end of Grand Theft Auto 4. Still things you can do here, like more hangouts to see what people say, hunting for flying rats, extra races if you feel like it, or going for any other encounters. I did all of the encounters in this playthrough, but I didn't list everyone, so go check around for the ones I missed if you like. This game's quite slow to start, but it does a good job of easing you into the mechanics one by one with its early missions. A criticism I've heard is that missions tend to consist of driving somewhere and shooting some people, but honestly, I'd say that's kind of like complaining that a Mario game has you doing nothing but running to the right and jumping on things. Plus, even in the early missions, there's still some variety to it, despite some mechanics being underused, like grabbing bricks to throw. While there are a fair few missions that feel a bit more scripted, it's not like you can't take care of a few of them with some outside-the-box thinking at least. I did kind of miss a few aspects, like not having any spookometer for trailing missions though. That and your reward cars not respawning if you wreck them or lose them. Gunplay's certainly improved from older games at any rate. Having more free aim is certainly welcome, as it can allow you to hit enemies through cars at crucial moments. One aspect I also like is how if you fail a mission you'll sometimes get some alternate dialogue if someone's riding along. Rare to see an incentive to not complete a mission first time round, even if it did potentially come at the cost of mission checkpoints. I will say that one part I did find a bit tedious was during the whole Gracie kidnapping segment. Having to drive from Jerry to Gracie to the Algonquin spot, then back to Jerry, then back to the Algonquin spot for the hostage exchange. Would have been better to merge those last two missions into one, honestly. Alderney also sort of has that issue in general. My big grievance is that it can be a pain when people call to hang out, as if they're in Broker, you're probably not getting over to them in time. As far as the hangout calls go, I don't find them as frequent as most would have you believe. That said, I did seem to get them right when I was about to stop and save. There are some scripted ones in missions, mostly just to add a bit of comic relief to them, so you don't need to worry about those. Plus, one good exploit is to agree to plans and then call back to cancel, as it doesn't drop the approval of the person in question. The characters you hang out with are generally likeable at least. Jacob's a standout in how he has you back on more than one occasion. Could honestly do with a mod for Mass Effect that replaces that Jacob with him. Much as people, from what I've seen, don't get attached to Kate as much, her hangouts are at least good for learning a bit more about the Bellic family history. The bond between Niko and Roman's also great, as you get a good sense that they care for each other even when they argue. Niko wanting Roman to stop gambling and Roman wanting Niko to not lose himself in his anger as an example. Much as people might meme Roman calling too much to go bowling, if you don't feel the family bond, a lot of the character writing wouldn't work. For other characters, a good deal of them feel like they have a place in the city beyond just giving missions out. Much as I rag on Vlad, he was written with the intent of not liking him, so mission accomplished, and it's not like he doesn't get his comeuppance. It's tough to say whether Dimitri or Pegorino serves as the better final fight. I've already given my reasoning, but I will say Pegorino does feel like a bit of an afterthought as a fight. Not that there isn't build-up to it, as he's basically got a similar motive to Salvatore. Increasingly paranoid and turning on people as a result, as well as his own trait of having little regard for those he does have working for him. As far as Niko himself goes, I find him an entertaining character. Certainly not a good person, and a bit of a hypocrite as Darko points out, but he has his good traits. He's loyal to those he's close to, Roman especially as mentioned, and tends to be pretty fearless in the face of characters that would otherwise be intimidating. I mentioned the scene with Mikhail as the scene that set in stone my liking towards him, but even back with Vlad I was enjoying him not taking any crap with his attitude. There's also the tragic element in that he's survived more than he feels he should have, and that he's only doing any of this because he's good at it. Finding the other survivors is a factor, but there's an element there of if he died he probably wouldn't care too much, though he at least has Roman pulling him back up throughout the game. Ultimately, to use his own words, he's the one who survived, and villainous attributes or not, he's written in a way that you do feel where he's coming from and hope that after it's all over he can find a way to move forward. With all that in mind, as much as that description makes it sound like the story's depressing, it's not entirely without humour. Most of the back and forth with the McCrearys can be good, and Brucey trying and failing to prove himself over and over is always good for a laugh. That and the TV shows and talk show radio stations also providing good entertainment, of course. While it's scaled back in size when compared to San Andreas, Liberty City does have a lot of nice detail to it. The imperfections in the roads and the crumbling walls and such shows they put a lot of effort into the little things. Also stuff like the explorable building interiors or Happiness Island that you might not always go to, but they're there if you want to take a look around outside of any mission relevance. With that and the internet often updating, I feel like I could still find stuff with more playthroughs. Getting to Algonquin's a good moment too. The constricting feeling of Broker and Bohan feels like it's by design, so when you finally get away from them it's nice to see the contrast, with the nicer looking parks and more open roads by comparison. It's never not fun to charge down Star Junction at full speed on that note. With all of these aspects, the city certainly feels as lived in as Rockstar always aims to achieve. Johnny and Luis's roles in the main story are fairly minimal, but it does give that feeling that there's a world outside of Niko's story. I suppose initially the intent was to entice people to buy the episodes and learn more about them, but given the most readily available release nowadays is the Steam version, which comes with everything, I guess you could say it's more to entice people to play them. See Liberty City from a different point of view and learn a bit more about how they came to cross over with Niko. There's also a few unanswered plot threads, like what became of Bulgarin, as well as the Diamonds, which admittedly does have a news report post-game but also gets an in-story resolution in the episodes. On that note, join me next time as we explore the biker life in The Lost and the Damned. Until then.